first thought was not, I've been replaced. But then I saw you with somebody other than me. I close my eyes cause I don't wanna believe what I see. You're sitting on the ground, arm around a girl that I don't know. She leans in closer and I know it's over when I see your eyes close. You just keep on looking at her like she's the only one you've ever known. I'm just now finding out you know how to love on the down low. I saw you look at her and that look I know. My head stayed high but my heart is sunk so low. Why'd you take her to a place you knew I could be? I turned away cause I'm starting to believe what I see. You're sitting on arm around a girl that I don't know. She leans in closer and I know it's over when I see her eyes fall. Just keep on looking
Oh,
at her like she's the only
hello,
one you'll
hello.
ever know.
Hi, good
Good
evening.
evening.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
So
I
you're how?
didn't
It's
hear
okay.
you.
It's okay. No worries. Hi, Miss Yan. How are you? You're just having a sound trip
Yeah.
since you cannot go out.
Yes. I.
Okay. So how's your day, by the way?
It's normal day. But anyway, I
It's
feel better.
still a normal day.
Yes. I still can't walk, but
What? Mhm.
yeah, this is, I just
But at
listen.
least now, do you feel? But at least now, do you feel okay, or do you think that you're getting better?
No, just I feel better. Not, not my leg is better.
Oh, really? You didn't feel any changes? Like it's getting better?
No, it still hurt, and I have
Really?
yes, I have to use a
Oh,
crutches, crutches.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, I'm so confused. Maybe it's really important that after the incident, you you take some day off
Yeah, I think
because
I
I
I
think I
have
think
to
because of
off.
that. Yeah,
I have to
exactly.
off
I think
it.
because of that, that's why until now
Crutches.
it's getting hurt since of course, after the incident, you still go to work, right?
Yes, until date
So that is
holiday.
why. Exactly. That is why um, now you are suffering because you really force yourself to work back then. Am I right?
Yeah,
hmm So it's really important to listen. This is a lesson learned.
yeah. I went to
Mhm.
the not really hospital but clinic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the doctor said that I need two or two two to four
Weeks.
weeks, yeah, to
Oh.
recover.
Mhm.
And I have to wear this one to fix my
Oh,
ankle.
really?
Yes,
Oh, there's a lot of things needed now, unlike before.
yes,
Because the first, if you take some rest after the incident,
yes, I
you
see,
will feel
I see.
good. So how's your work, by the way? Are they looking for you?
Just works many works, but
Exactly.
my workmates will handle it.
Yeah. So, um, did they allow you to take a really long day off?
Yes,
Mhm.
My
That's a
niece
really nice.
has no choice.
At least they're still there to welcome you, even though you can you will going to have a really long day off.
A month, I think.
Exactly. And plus, there's a Tet celebration or lunar celebration on February. So it's like you are having a 2 months
Yes.
day off. That's and your plan of going out, visiting somewhere will be canceled because of that incident. So I
Yeah.
think during lunar you're going to stay at home and just help your family. Yeah, and of course, for the sake of your health also. Okay, so of course, for today, Miss Yen, we will going to have some lesson 14 because yesterday we have done some English conversation, but we have the last question, right?
Yeah, I see.
If you
Yeah.
can still remember. So, of course, what I asked he last meeting, the last question is about have you, okay, let me type it.
Have you ever felt like a square peg in a round hole, right?
Exactly. So, can you please share your answer?
Yes. It's like the miss, like someone is
Mm,
in an unsuitable position or situation, right?
yes. Or you think that you're not really belong?
Yeah. Yes, of course, sure. I have felt like that. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, after graduate, after graduation from university, I have worked for a company, and we made some videos for kids, and post on YouTube, and then earn money from advertising on YouTube. You know that, right?
yes, yes. Wow.
Yeah, but that videos is not very useful and have had high value. So I think I'm not. I was uh, I was I wasn't suitable for that job, and I mean I don't like a boring job, or doing the job that not useful. So
Useful.
yeah.
Well, yes, sometimes I also feel this kind of thing. Particularly when I am not really confident in doing that particular thing. Sometimes when I was in college, I think I usually feel like this because
Really,
I am, yes, because
you don't
I
like.
am back then I feel I am not really confident. I am so talkative when I am outside the school, but when I'm inside the school, I am less confident and less talkative. I don't know. I just feel like, oh, am I belong here? I have a lot of questions in my mind because I believe that all of my classmates, they are so intelligent, they're so smart,
Oh,
and they can buy a lot of things and like that. And I just feel so like I think I'm not suitable here, so something like that. I don't know, just somehow like self pity, but it is a really wrong thing. Because of that, being not confident and comfortable, I feel like maybe that hinders me to be who I am, to be good in my academics. Because
mm-hmm.
of that thing, I feel so shy and I don't really want to participate in class.
Oh,
So it's a really wrong decision to be like that. And now I am thinking like, oh, if I was just so confident before, I think I can be a good I think I can, we're going to have a really good grade, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But because I always think like I am this place is not for me, I think I am so shy. So it's a really wrong thinking, right? It's not really because sometimes it's all about us, right? Like
Yes.
we cannot really do things because we are not confident enough. And we sometimes feel like, oh, I am not suitable because I can't do it. Unlike thinking like I can do it. I just need to be trained. I just need to check how and what to do. So maybe we will need to change that kind of mentality. It's negative for our future. Okay, so I think we have somehow the same in college, but I'm not really sure. Maybe you are confident when you are in college. So, and that was me, see, before, and now I've changed a little bit. Like I usually feel confident now and comfortable in
More
everything I.
mature, right?
Yes, I'm not too. I'm so immature. Yes, I am so immature. Not I don't know why, but I'm immature, but I'm confident. Something like that. I
Yeah.
believe I am a childish person. Like if we know, I mean, I think if we were going to meet in person, you will not going. You will think that oh, she's so childish. But of course, I know how to act as a mature one if needed.
Okay.
Yes, if needed. Not all the time because it's so tiring to act mature, or to act as if you know everything or you're so mature enough. It's so tired. I feel so tired acting like that. And of course, having this profession, like we will like we're gonna talking with some professionals because here in online class I have met a lot of professionals like they're so intelligent and but
Wow.
they just want to study English. I don't know why, but they're good in English, so they just want to have some English conversation. I was just thinking like, oh wow. So and of course I can really say that they're so professionals based on their work.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I was just going to think like, oh, uh, I feel like, oh my gosh, it's so
So it's
somehow
really
yes, I
clever.
feel so pressured. Yes, but they like talking with me, and that's a really nice thing because I'm talkative too. We always do some English conversation activity. Yes, we talked for 30 minutes, and I'm just so amazed with them because I mean I'm so amazed because they are so good in English and they just love to talk and talk with some foreign people, and that's good. They're not just really wasting money because maybe it's their way to practice English.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, the free talk offered them some book, but they prefer not using it because they think that it's not real. They think that it's just it's just a waste of time reading those things, those books. So they prefer like impromptu speaking. Yes, and I was just okay, okay, let's do that. I'm talkative too. Okay. Well, anyway, going back with our discussion for tonight, we will going to have this talk three and lesson 14. So, of course, we all know that lesson 14 is somehow the start of some grammar activity.
Yes.
So, of
I
course,
had a look and I'm still confused about past perfect and past simple. Simple past.
you're confused with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are going to learn how to use that anyways. Okay. So, of course,
Oh, let's skip this one.
yes, yes. This is the previous discussion, and there is some. Okay, so of course, lesson 14 sequence of past tenses. So these are the sequences of the past tenses. So we have here main clause and subordinate clause. Okay, so of course, let's just proceed in the next part. Okay, so the grammar past tenses. So we have here subject plus had plus past perfect or the and then subject plus verb with ed, of course we will going to encounter these words later. And past continuous happening, subject plus was or were, and then verb with ing. So you are going to identify that the past continuous, the verb is will always have ing,
Yes.
and the simple past, the verb always, you're going to read it with ed in the last part.
Yeah.
Yes, and you will going in and by that you will going to think like, okay, this is in the past, because if I'm going to say I watched, I watched this film,
I watched this film.
meaning to say
TV
I
film.
already watched this film because
Um.
with ed. Okay.
Okay. Already.
Exactly. So past continue, of course, just for you to know, when you say past continuous, um, it refers to the continuing action. That's why we always have this ing.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course, anyways, let's just proceed in some example below, since we can really identify, no need to pressure in analyzing this thing, because based on the words, based on the verb itself, you're going to understand, you're going to know that this is past tense, simple past, and this is the past continuous. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, so the main clause plus subordinate. Okay, so just a short recap of this main clause. So of course, a main clause, it is a clause, obviously, that can form a complete sentence standing alone. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so of course, when you say standing alone, meaning to say you will go in reading that sentence, you will identify the whole thing. You're going to understand the whole sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
So of course, when you are going to say subordinate, so if
So
main clause,
addition
if
information, right?
if main clause is independent clause, subordinate clause is dependent
Only.
clause. Yes, meaning to say you need to have some follow-up statement for you to understand it well. Okay, you cannot just really use this part of sentence, because if you're not going to put some um of course some subject and verb there, then you're not going to understand thing, and that is what we call subordinate clause. So dependent. Okay, and main clause is independent also, because it is not depending on something. Okay, so going back with our discussion, we have here some main clause, simple past. So we have here past simple, and then of course subordinate clause, simple past, and past continuous, past perfect. Of course, I mean, personally, I know how to use this, but whenever I talk too fast or whatever, I usually forget how to the structure of this. Yes,
Yes.
of course, even the American, even the Western country, they always you cannot really say that their English is perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, we can really assess that, Filipino people some Filipino people can assess that some of the American, they tend to have this wrong grammar also. They are, of course, because most Filipino people, particularly those professional people, they really identify the grammar
Yeah.
itself. So that's the extent that we saw. Oh, even the American can really construct a complete, a correct grammar. Some only, some people only. So of
Yeah.
course, we have here some examples beside here. So we have here simple past. Of course, practice makes perfect. So let's just, of course, you're going to learn while studying. And we have here example of simple past. Nancy said she went to the zoo last
Zoo.
Sunday. Okay. So this is just a simple past, which is somehow common, right? Like
Yeah.
we always do. Like if we were going to talk about the past, we usually put said instead of say because it happens in the past. Went instead of go because it happens last Sunday. So this is just a simple way of constructing the about the past. And then the past continuous here we have here. Nancy said she was watching TV at 9 p.m. last Sunday. So of course, what makes this sentence a past continuous? It's somehow because of this ing. The verb has an ing.
Mm,
Get it?
yeah.
Uh-huh. That's how
Because
you're
of
going
there
to.
is a
Mhm.
particular time,
Mhm.
9 p.m. right?
Nine.
So
It really depends. It really depends on the sentence, okay? Because
mm,
take note that we are following. Okay, I'm sorry. Take note we are following here like the subject plus was or were plus verb because most of the continuous or past continuous the verb follows with ing.
yeah, okay.
So in that way, it will be so easy for you to identify. Sometimes my friends and I were talking about this grammar thing, and we usually, because of a lot of thinking, and we usually have some debate like, oh, I'm using some present continuous here, and something like that, past continuous. So it's somehow really, um, it's really important also. Of course, when you say, okay, no, let's not confuse your mindset for now. So, past perfect. When you say past perfect, Nancy said she had visited her grandparents
Yes.
before she had her dinner last night. Of course, what make this sentence past perfect? Because based on our pattern here, like past tense, okay, so we have here subject plus had
Okay.
plus the okay past perfect. Oh wait a minute. I'm
Had
sorry.
visited.
Okay, so of course this is just a really simple pattern, the basic one, and we usually, of course, I believe that we usually use this clause, this grammar here, but I know, of course, but we are not aware because we just love to talk and talk. And of course, we are just talking in a normal way. And of course, maybe if you are in a test, if you are in somehow, if you're still studying, your teacher or a lot of people are going to check your um, grammar. But whenever you will going to have some English conversation,
Yes.
and as long as you're following this structure, well, everything is okay.
Mm,
Because sometimes people get mistakes because they really want to make the sentence more complicated, which is so wrong. You can make it more complicated if you are talking with, you know, you can make it more complicated if you yourself know that I am a smart person here and I want to make this thing so complicated, but it will going to be so, of course, I think if you are going to make it so complicated, then you don't have any listener because a
yeah.
lot people will get so tired listening to you. So the simple one, the better. Okay, just
Okay.
follow the English structure. Of
Okay.
course, did you somehow review this kind of lesson?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so that's a
Oh,
really nice.
excuse me, but this sentence, can I say Nancy said she visited her grandparents before she. I mean, can I use past simple, a simple past in here? Not had visited. I want to
Can you say?
use
Can you say
she
it again?
visited.
She.
Visited her grandparents before she had.
Ah,
Uh,
yes, yes.
it
You can
is
also
not.
say that.
It's not wrong, right?
Yes, it's not wrong.
Okay.
Yes, as long as you're following the you. As she had visited her grandparents last night.
Mm,
Yes, we can also say that one. Just make sure that there is somehow a subject, a verb, the sentence is understandable. Then saying, this one is wrong, like um Nancy visited
mm,
last night. So it's not complete, right? So
yeah.
it's somehow like, oh, the listener will get so confused.
Mm,
Okay, so it's really important to make the sentence more clear than making it too short to the extent that no one will going to understand you.
yeah.
Okay, so of course, um, we have here. Okay, so let's just focus in this part. Maybe we will going to encounter some present continuous next in the following discussion. So let's just focus. So the main focus of this topic is about in the past.
Past
Okay.
continuous.
Yes.
Past
So
continuous.
yeah.
Past.
Okay, so let's check your understanding. Okay. So
Yeah.
you need to supply the correct verb forms. So for
Uh,
number one,
Bill said that he
here,
lost his bicycle. Bicycle.
he,
Lost.
what's the spelling of loss?
Uh, Lost. T.
Okay,
Lost.
Lost.
Yes.
Okay. Your number two. What is your number two?
Uh, I didn't know what time it was, so I turned on the radio.
What's
Was
turn
turned.
was and please type your answer. Okay, continue first.
She said that she lived in the country when she were a child. Was a child.
Can you put the number three, and then write your answer?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Number four. We're
I
going to check
saw
your
that.
answer later.
I saw that I made a mistake.
Made.
Made made a mistake. Did you hear?
Made. Can you say it again?
Made.
Made.
Made. Oh.
Okay, that one is better.
Did you hear?
Usually I hear some Vietnamese, like they will going to say they have this short A. That's why mid. So they will going to
Oh.
say that one. Yes. You need to prolong
Make
the
it
A.
longer.
Okay.
Made.
Yeah.
Did you hear what she just said? She understood that we promised ed. Done. I'm done.
Okay. So let me. So of course I will going to take some photo and send it to my friend because she is calling and I think she's think that I'm not having a class. Okay. So of course, let's check your answer. We have here the next one is the correct answer. Of course. So,
I know all
mm,
the answers.
let's check. Um, you know already. Oh, you have the guide?
I know it, but I still choose loss instead of head loss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I think that's a simple pass. Maybe.
Okay, okay. So, of course, Bill said that he had lost his bicycle. Okay. So, of
Why?
course,
Why is past perfect?
when you will going to use he, if it is still in the present, so you need to use has, right? But since it happened in the past, so you need to use had. Do you get it?
No.
Bill said that he had. Because if you are going to say they, you can use have, right?
No.
And then remember the pattern
I
of
don't get it.
our. Okay, you don't get it. You remember the pattern of our activity here is okay. You need to follow the pattern, but do not be confused because sometimes I don't use had also, just to
Yeah.
make it more short, just to make the okay. So, but still, the perfectionist will going to check it. Okay, there's always a perfectionist in the world. So of course, the past perfect, you need to use had here. But
But I think that sentence,
personally,
yeah, that sentence should be simple past, not
can you say it
past
again?
perfect. I mean, this sentence should be use simple past, not past perfect tense.
Okay. So of course, that's your suggestion, by
Oh
the
no,
way.
number
In
four.
English.
Number four, head made.
Oh yes.
I made a
Okay, so
mistake.
let's just read first. I didn't know what time it was, so I turned on the radio. She said that she lived in the country when she was a child. I
Child.
saw that I had a mistake. Did you hear that she just said? And she understood that we promised to go. But you know what, Miss Yen? Maybe this whole part will confuse you, okay? But sometimes personally I also um I know myself that I need to use had after the subject I need to follow up this with had. But I usually not used I'm not going I usually not using had.
Yeah.
Instead I'm going to say um he said that he lost his book.
Yeah.
So if you can
It is not
yes,
really
but
serious
but
mistake, right?
exactly, it's not really that serious mistake as long as it is clear.
Yeah.
The
I
term is
see.
clear. Yes. But of course take note that in this world nobody's um there are some perfectionists, but this kind of this kind of mistake is not really a big deal
Yeah.
because the English is somehow complete. It's not really a big deal. Old maybe the perfectionists were going to notice that, but it is consider. They were going to consider that thing.
Hmm.
Yes. I have a friend here in the Philippines. He's a gay,
Oh,
but
really?
and he
Oh.
he really he doesn't want of course I think that he doesn't really want to call us a gay. He considered himself as a girl, so I'm confused now what to use. Maybe I'm just going to use he. um he's so perfectionist. Like he will going to rant on Facebook about the grammar. He will going to post like, before you're going to post anything, you need to check your grammar, because if not,
Oh.
going to unfriend you. Like, I was just thinking, hello. um he is such a perfectionist one, and I really, which I don't really like that attitude,
Mm-hmm.
because um not all people are like her him. Of
Okay, I see.
because um
But sorry, you are a Christian, right?
Catholic, Roman
Catholic.
Catholic,
Oh,
exactly.
but
it
LGBT is a big deal with
it's
you guys.
okay, yes.
Ah, it's okay, right?
um yes, but it's not really that, but a lot of Catholic people really want to fight about that. But of course, a lot of Catholic or Christian people, they just, that kind of gender is accepted nowadays.
Oh,
Yes, just
but
practically speaking, yes,
we
because they
are young generation, so
exactly.
love is
So
love, and it's not a big
we
deal.
are more under, we tend to understand their
Yeah.
feelings. That's why. Yes, but what makes, of course, but that part, I really don't like his attitude in that part, because nobody's perfect, and
Yes.
not all of his friends are so smart or so intelligent. Even me, I need to double check my grammar first,
Yes.
because
I see.
um
I mean, I see you usually say, "I will go into," right?
yes, I will be going to.
Yeah.
Yes. I usually, it should has a B, but I always put the shortcut one, and it's more understandable.
Okay.
But I always get correct. I always get corrected by that, but I don't mind that one because I am used to that grammar, and I think it's still understandable.
Yes. As long
Yes,
as we
and
still know each other, connect
yeah,
and connect.
yes. But whenever I write something like a letter,
Mm-hmm.
I usually double check it and use be and use had if needed
Okay.
when I write something. It's more important,
Yes.
particularly when you are talking to some professionals. Yes, I need to double check my grammar itself. Like, instead of saying I will going, I usually say I will be going to. I need to complete the whole thing. But of course, when just a normal talk, I will just go in. I just want to feel so relaxed, like no pressure at all, as long as we understand each other, and as
Yes.
long as
I
the
see.
grammar is not wrong. Actually, the grammar is not really wrong, but English language is so complicated. Every day we're going to create new words. Every day there are some corrections. Like, before, we usually read this as this one, but now it changed.
Mm.
So, like before, we usually read it as science. Science. Yes. What's
Science.
your subject right now? Our subject is science. But as time passed by, we of course we noticed that the pronunciation somehow changed. So it is
Yeah.
now science.
Oh.
And I was just thinking like, oh, before we just read it as science, and now it's science. Yes, that is why. So we cannot really blame ourselves of using some old, with the way we, I am used to it, but we need to change it somehow, particularly when we are talking with some higher
Yeah.
individual. Yes, it's so important.
Non-disabled person.
Mm, exactly. Yes, those big fish, because we don't know. Maybe they are so perfectionist. Particularly when I'm talking with this friend of mine, the one that I have shared to you. Yes, I need to be good somehow in talking with
Yeah, like
him,
comfortable.
but I don't care, I don't care about him. Like, okay, so even you, and he always wants to use some difficult lexicon, and I'm just thinking like, oh, why are you using some difficult lexicon when we can use the simple one? Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes we really don't understand, people will not going to understand each other because of the use of lexicon.
Yeah.
Where in fact we can use some words that are so simple and understandable,
Yeah.
but
I
they
like simple
me too,
simple
me too.
things.
I also like simple things though, because I'm so lazy, Of course. Okay, so Miss Yen, of course we don't have enough time left here.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I think we
I
really
waste your
enjoy.
time.
No, no, it's not a waste of time. I think we enjoy our time. We are enjoying our time, So, we will just going to continue this one next meeting, and I believe that um take note that these are the correct verb forms, okay? These are the correct grammar. But
Yeah.
the thing that you really want to say is considered also.
Mm.
Yes, as long as the sentence is is understandable. There is subject, there is a verb, something like that. That's the most important. We can use the basic. Remember, we have this
Yes.
basic English grammar, and we can use that one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So do not pressure yourself if you missed had. But as long as you people were going to see, as long as you use lost, and under of course we can really say that lost is a past. Of course, when you're talking about the past, you need to use lost.
Lost.
So it is more understandable, right? So
Yeah.
it's really okay if you can if you missed something like this, as long as the sentence is somehow still complete.
Okay.
So of course, that's it. So we're
Yeah.
going
Thank
to
you.
the
Thank you very much.
okay. Have a good night, Miss Yen. Goodbye.
Good night. Bye.